Jai Gurudev and welcome to this enlightening conversation. Today we explore the six virtues known as Shat Sampatti, which are considered true wealth in spiritual life. We are honored to have with us an art of living expert and an officer of Vedic Dham Sansthan to guide us in understanding these treasures of life. Let's begin. Shama is the inner tranquility, and Shama refers to inner peace and control over the mind. In today's fast paced world where distractions and stress dominate, how can one cultivate Shama? Jai Gurudev, yes. His Holiness Gurudev Shishya Vishankaji beautifully explains that a restless mind cannot be sharp. When the mind is calm, clarity naturally arises. The practice of Sudarshan Kriya, meditation, and pranayama helps stabilize the mind. One simple technique is observing your breath. When anger or restlessness takes over, take a few deep breaths and shift your awareness inward. Shama is about choosing peace over your reaction. In the scriptures, Shama is likened to a still lake. Only in stillness can one see the reflection clearly. If we get disturbed by every external event, we lose our inner wisdom. Bhagavad Gita says, just as the ocean remains unshaken despite countless rivers merging into it, a wise person remains undisturbed by desires. This is Shama. Then we live in an age of digital distractions. How can Dhamma, which is the control over senses, and how can one practice it in everyday life? Jagrudev, yes, Dhamma is the ability to align your mind and senses. Today, people say, I want to focus on work, but I end up scrolling through my phone. This means the senses are controlling the mind through self awareness and discipline. One can train the senses, for example, practice a technology free hour every day. In the Mahabharata, Duryodhana says, I know what is right, but I am unable to follow it. This is a classic example of lack of Dhamma. Lord Krishna advises Arjuna to control the mind by practice or abhyasa and detachment or vairagya. Regular japa, meditation, and a disciplined life help in managing and mastering dhamma. Then the titiksha is forbearance and patience. Many people struggle with patience, especially in challenging situations. How does one develop titiksha? Titiksha means enduring without complaining. Life is unpredictable and things don't always go our way. Gurudev says, accept situations as they come with a smile. If someone is rude to you, instead of reacting, just observe. See it as a passing cloud. In Sage Valmiki's Ramayana, Lord Ram displays Titiksha when exiled to the forest. Instead of blaming or resisting, he accepts it with grace. Similarly, sage Rishi Vashishta in Yoga Vasishta teaches that when challenges come, rather than asking why me, ask what can I learn. This shift in attitude makes one strong. The Shraddha is the faith and the trust in the unknown. Faith is often questioned in the modern world. How do we develop Shraddha? Shraddha is a trust in something beyond logic. Every scientist has Shraddha. Before an experiment succeeds, they believe in the possibility. Similarly, spiritual life requires faith. If you want to experience divine grace, start with small steps. Trust in your breath, in meditation, in the wisdom of saints. The Upanishads say, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. A person with faith gains knowledge. Even Lord Hanuman's strength came from his faith in Lord Rama. Hanuman Chalisa says, Shraddha and Saburi. Faith and patience are the two main wings that take us to the divine. Without faith, life lacks direction. Upurati is the enthusiasm in every action. Many people feel uninspired in daily life. How does one bring Upurati? Gurudev, Upurati means wholehearted involvement in whatever you do. Gurudev says the work itself should become your source of joy. When a person and perform tasks with devotion instead of compulsion, life becomes beautiful. Even the most ordinary tasks can be divine if done with the right attitude. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says all work should be done as an offering to the divine. When work is seen as service, Uprati arises. Saints like Mirabai and Saint Tukaram sang devotional songs while doing daily chores. They turned their work into worship. Samadhana is a contentment and inner fulfillment. In the race for success, people often feel dissatisfied. How can one attain samadhana? Contentment is not about giving up ambitions, but about being fulfilled in the present moment. Gurudev often says, "You are taken care of, trust that." The mind that always craves will never rest. Gratitude is the key to contentment. Start your day by remembering three things you are grateful for. True samadhana comes when desires are in harmony with dharma. Lord Buddha attained enlightenment when he stopped running after the truth and simply rested under the Bodhi tree. Similarly, Newton discovered gravity when he was still and observing. When we slow down and look within, the answers come. This discussion has been a deep dive into the true wealth of life, Shat Sampatti. How would you summarize its essence? These six virtues bring strength, wisdom, and joy into our lives. Start with small steps, practice meditation, mindfulness, discipline, patience, faith, enthusiasm, and contentment. The real wealth of life is not in possessions but in virtues. Shat Sampati is a path to inner mastery. Follow it, and life becomes a celebration. Thank you both for sharing these profound insights. May we all cultivate these six forms of wealth and live with wisdom and peace. Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev, Namaste. Today we are honored to have two esteemed guests with us, an expert from the art of living and an officer from the Vedic Sun. We will be discussing the profound concept of Shatasampati, the six virtues that define inner wealth as explained by Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankarji. To begin with, could you both share why these six virtues are considered wealth? Jai Gurudev and Namaste. In ancient wisdom, wealth is not just measured in material terms. True wealth lies in the strength of one's character and the peace of one's mind. The six virtues of Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Uparati, and Samadhana help us build a strong, stable, and fulfilling life. They guide us toward inner richness, which is the foundation for external success as well. Absolutely, these qualities are called sampati or wealth because they enrich one's spiritual and mental well being. As Gurudev says, some of these virtues come naturally while others need effort to cultivate. Just like material wealth needs maintenance, so does inner wealth. Shama is the inner tranquility. Let's start with Shama. Gurudev describes it as inner tranquility. Could you explain why this is so important? Shama is the ability to remain calm and composed in any situation. When the mind is restless, even the most intelligent person can become confused and make poor decisions. Gurudev says that a calm mind sharpens the intellect and helps us respond wisely rather than react impulsively. Exactly, in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna also emphasizes mental steadiness or sthiti prajna. Without Shama, we are like a leaf blown by the wind, easily disturbed, whether in personal life or spiritual practice. Peace of mind is the key to clarity and wisdom. Dhamma is the mastery over the senses. The second virtue is Dhamma, control over the senses. Why is this self discipline necessary? Jayagurudev, yes, Dhamma means aligning the senses with the intellect. Many times we know what is right, but our senses pull us in the opposite direction. For example, staying up late watching a movie when we know we have an important meeting in the morning. The mind says sleep, but the eyes refuse to listen. Gurudev teaches that true freedom is when our senses obey our intellect, not the other way around. In Vedic philosophy, our senses are like untamed horses. If we let them run wild, they lead us into distractions and suffering. Dhamma is about mastering them through awareness and discipline. This is why ancient sages emphasized yoga, meditation, and pranayama because they help in strengthening this control. Titiksha is forbearance. Titiksha is often translated as forbearance. How does this help in daily life, Jagodev? Life is full of ups and downs. If we lack the tiksha, every small difficulty will disturb our peace. Gurudev beautifully explains that the tiksha is the ability to endure what we do not like without losing our balance. For example, if someone speaks harshly to us, our immediate reaction is to get upset. But with Titiksha, we can remain unaffected, knowing that people's words do not define us. In Vedantic tradition, Titiksha is a key quality for spiritual growth. Adi Shankaracharya says that without Titiksha, one cannot progress on the path of knowledge. It is if a student lacks patience and gets frustrated quickly, they cannot grasp deeper truths. Shraddha is the faith and reverence. Faith or Shraddha is something that Gurudev often speaks about. What is its significance, Jai Gurudev? Yes, Shraddha is having reverence and trust in something beyond our immediate understanding. Gurudev gives a beautiful example. When a doctor prescribes medicine, we take it because we trust the doctor. Life itself runs on faith. Shraddha is not blind belief, it is an intuitive connection with something greater. Without it, we hesitate to move forward. Even scientists need faith in their research before they see any results. Shraddha is the foundation of all spiritual practice in the Vedas. It is said that Shraddhavan labhate jnanam, only one with faith gains true knowledge, whether in gurus, scriptures, or one's own inner journey. Faith fuels progress. Uparati is the joy in every action. Uparati is described as finding joy in whatever we do. How does this impact our lives? Jagadev, many people go through life mechanically without enthusiasm. Uparati means doing everything wholeheartedly. Gurudev teaches that when we put our total energy into a task, even the simplest work becomes joyful. A person with Uparati does not seek external motivation. They find fulfillment in the act itself. This makes work effortless and life meaningful. In ancient times, sages and rishis did not differentiate between meditation and daily work. Everything was done with devotion. When we cultivate uparati, every action becomes a meditation and we stop feeling burdened. Samadhana is contentment and inner satisfaction. Finally, we come to samadhana or contentment. Why is this called a wealth? Contentment is the highest wealth because a person who is truly content exudes a natural joy. Gurudev explains that creativity flourishes in a state of contentment. When Newton relaxed under the tree, he discovered gravity. Samadhana is not about passivity or giving up ambition. It's about being at peace with the present moment while still striving for excellence. Contentment is different from complacency. A content person is not lazy. They are fulfilled. Vedic wisdom teaches that true success comes when we operate from inner satisfaction rather than restless craving. This has been an enlightening conversation. Before we conclude, what message would you like to give to those who wish to cultivate these six virtues? Start with awareness, observe your reactions, and through regular meditation and Sudarshan Kriya, develop inner peace. The more we practice, the more these virtues naturally manifest. Follow the teachings of enlightened masters, study scriptures, practice discipline, and stay connected to a higher purpose. As Gurudev says, true wealth is in our character and inner peace. Thank you both for sharing this profound wisdom. May we all strive to cultivate these six kinds of wealth in our lives, Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev, namaste. Today we have with us an esteemed art of living expert and an officer of the Vedic Dharma Sansthan to discuss the six spiritual wealths or Shat Sampatti, these treasures as imparted by Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji enrich our inner lives and lead to true happiness. Welcome, namaste. It's a pleasure to share this wisdom. To begin, could you explain the first spiritual wealth or Shama? Shama refers to inner peace and tranquility. As Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji beautifully explains, a restless mind cannot find joy in anything, whether it is food, music, travel, or even conversations. Inner peace is the foundation of true happiness. When we cultivate Shama through meditation and self awareness, everything else in life naturally aligns. That is profound. The second wealth is Dhamma. How can one develop control over the senses? Dhamma is about mastering our senses rather than being ruled by them. Often people indulge in excesses, eating beyond their capacity, staying glued to screens, or engaging in addictive habits. This imbalance leads to suffering. Gurudev emphasizes that through Sudarshan Kriya and disciplined living, we can train our senses to follow our conscious will rather than impulse. True self control brings freedom and joy. The third wealth, titiksha, relates to endurance. In today's fast paced world, how can one cultivate this virtue? Jai Gurudev, yes, Diksha means equanimity in the face of pleasure and pain, success and failure. Many people get overwhelmed by small setbacks, failing an exam, losing a job, or facing criticism. Gurudev reminds us that life is a mix of ups and downs, and true wisdom lies in embracing both with a steady mind, meditation, and a spiritual outlook. Help us remain unshaken amidst the challenges. That's inspiring. Moving on to the fourth wealth, Upurati. How can one stay completely engaged in whatever they do? Upurati is about finding complete involvement in the present moment. Many people go through life without enthusiasm, feeling burdened by work and responsibilities. Gurudev encourages us to bring joy into everything we do. When we work with love and devotion, even the simplest tasks become fulfilling. This shift in mindset transforms our experience of life. The fifth wealth, or Shraddha, is about faith in an age of skepticism. How can one cultivate Shraddha? Jagadev, Shraddha is faith not just in the divine but in oneself and in the wisdom of life. Doubt creates confusion and fear, while faith brings clarity and strength. Gurudev teaches that faith is not blind belief, it is deep trust based on inner experience. When we meditate and connect with our true nature, Shraddha naturally grows, leading to confidence and inner stability. Finally, the sixth wealth is Samadhana or contentment. How can one attain a deep inner satisfaction? Samadhana means being content within oneself. Many people chase external achievements, believing that they will bring happiness, but true satisfaction comes from within. Gurudev explains that when we stop seeking happiness outside and turn inward through spiritual practices, a deep, unshakable contentment arises. This is the highest wealth one can possess. This has been an enlightening discussion. In conclusion, how can individuals integrate these six spiritual wealths into their daily life? By incorporating simple practices like meditation, sudarshan, kriya, self-reflection, and conscious living, anyone can cultivate these six inner treasures. Gurudev often says true wealth is not in what you have, but in what you are. When we develop a shama, dhamma, titiksha, uparati, shraddha, and samadhana, we live a truly enriched life untouched by external circumstances. Thank you for sharing these invaluable insights. May more people embrace the wisdom and find true happiness. Thank you. May everyone walk the path of spiritual wealth and inner joy till there.